Good afternoon. I'm here with our mayor, Art Minor, and we are prepared to deliver the recap video for July 26th, regular and workshop council meetings. So Mayor, I know that we started the evening with our workshop, and Lana Yule, the library director, gave the council a presentation and update on how we are moving in the new Metro PAC consortium with some of the surrounding communities for library services and sharing materials program. And then in the regular meeting, we kicked it off as normal with our roll call, and then moved into the invocation. And I know you wanted to talk a little bit about the announcements and give credit to the wonderful prayer that was delivered during the council meeting.
Yes, Pastor Michael Gerald of the River Church gave the invocation. For anybody else out there that would like to be a participant in that, contact me. I have a list of all the churches in the area that have requested to be part of it, and we do it on a rotation basis. So whether you're a church or just an individual that would like to be part of that and give prayer, we've had citizens give prayer at some meetings, just let me know and we'll get something worked out. After that, we moved into announcements. Mr. Taylor, Councilman Taylor, mentioned that there'd be the big vehicle day on the 6th of August from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the library parking lot. Mr. Neal, Mayor Pro Tem Neal, I went an entire meeting one time without calling him Mayor Pro Tem, mentioned movie night. Peter Pan will be the movie on the 10th of August at 8 p.m. And that will be out here in Cap Smith area. And then, of course, I had to make mention of our splash pad. That is a big hit. I think it's one of the best things the city of Watauga has done.
It definitely continues to be a popular activity, especially given this Texas heat that we've been dealing with.
Yes, and it also gives us some income with the facility rentals. And then I also announced that I'm creating an ad hoc committee to look into the bulk issues that the city is experiencing, and all cities around us are experiencing. One good thing that I can say about our service is that we are not behind on trash, and that cannot be said for several of our surrounding cities. If all we have to deal with is bulk, that's a blessing. So with that, we moved into some presentations, and we had some service awards. Did you want to address those? You want me to do that?
So Mayor, you and I, as you know, we do the service awards together.
Yes, ma'am.
At least that's how we did it pre-COVID, and it was so nice. I'm sure you felt the same way I did, to get back to our old practice, which was to be able to interact and engage with the employees and provide them that face-to-face recognition that they so deserve. Our first recipient was Sergeant Meade, who was celebrating 15 years. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to join us that night, but we still provided him with the appropriate amount of recognition and thank him here today. And then we recognized Officer Tyler Johnson, who is just amazing. He has the most
Very nice.
awesome, personality and customer service of an officer that I've seen. And he was celebrating 10 years. And then we also recognized Detective Heidi Tank Holland, who was celebrating 10 years with the city. And then our last recipient was Don Reimer with our Parks and Community Services Department, and he too was celebrating 10 years. So the mayor and I were, like I said, happy to be able to provide that public recognition for our employees, and we continue to thank them for their dedicated service to the community of Watauga.
All right. I don't know why I gave you that. You did all that from memory. I need a cheat sheet. But again, yes, it's great to be back person to person, and I guess I'll take this opportunity to mention September 1st, you will not be able to write in to have comments read into the record. Again, just a reminder. And the three police officers that we recognized, and Mr. Reimer from Parks and Rec, Watauga is blessed to have as many wonderful employees as we have, and I look forward to more awards with them. Next, I had the honor of receiving an award from Haltom City Parks and Recreation, and they presented me. I accepted on behalf of the city and the city council. It's dedicated to all City of Watauga veterans, past, present, and future. And I can tell you that being a veteran, it means a lot when you are recognized, whether you get a discount going into a store. I've had people, when I wear my military caps, buy me drinks at QT, one of my favorite places. I've seen people have their meals bought. I've bought some meals. It's just a wonderful thing to do to recognize a veteran for the services and sacrifices that they've made for their country. So again, thank you for that. Public comment and public testimony, we didn't have any again this time. I encourage all the citizens to please come be a part of the government. We're here for you. Then we moved into consent agenda. Let's see here. We had policy change affecting quarantine leave for personnel, another COVID-driven issue. Let's see what else we had of significance. We had a change to the personnel policy for bereavement leave.
And that change was reducing the number of days employees get for bereavement leave from 5 days to 3 days.
Let's see, then we adopted the strategic plan, which has been in the works for a while. That runs from 2022 to 2032.
And that plan, as of this morning, Mayor, has been updated on the city website.
Good.
So the new plan is out there on the website.
Okay. And then we did the housekeeping things, approved meetings, minutes. And that was pretty much it. Next, we had a public hearing for a planning and zoning change case. And that, again, we had no citizens speaking there. And that was passed. And with that, we moved into action items. Action to approve the purchase of health, dental, and vision insurance for all eligible employees. That motion passed, 7 in favor. That was not authorizing any purchasing per se. It allowed us to move forward, and we will get some quotes and pricing and make decisions further down the line. Councilman Taylor made that clear.
It was a selection, you're right, Mayor, it was a selection of a vendor. So the city's currently with Blue Cross and Blue Shield, and the action that was taken on Monday night was simply to change companies from Blue Cross Blue Shield to United Healthcare. All of the plan specifics will be worked out between now and September 13th when you adopt the budget. At some point in between there, the plan specifics will be brought back to the City Council for adoption, as well as the rates that the employees will pay for employee coverage and dependent coverage.
All right, item 2 was approve an ordinance to amend the fiscal year budget for the street maintenance fund. For the fiscal year budget for the general fund, the street maintenance fund, and the CARES Act fund. And the CARES Act, I know you've been knee-deep in that since COVID.
Yes. So that particular budget amendment was kind of a cleanup item. Finance works every year during budget season to go in and clean up various accounts based off of year-end projections. So the general fund items that were on there were mostly cleanup. We were fortunate that we had some revenue accounts, Mayor, that were running higher on an actual level than we had projected when we built the budget. And so that's a good problem to have. And so the budget amendment included increases to some of our revenue accounts. And then there were a few expenditure accounts that when the departments turned in their year-end projections for this year, we needed to make a few pretty minor adjustments to the budget from an expenditure side on the general fund. Then the street maintenance adjustment that was made was due to the fact that the election that was held in November to reallocate funds from street maintenance, $0.25 from street maintenance to economic development, that failed. And so there was lost revenue as a result of the tax rate going from 8.25% to 8%. And the city's local portion is what was decreased by 0.25%. And so that loss to street maintenance had to be amended because when the budget was adopted in September, went into effect in October, then the election was held in November. So we didn't know. So now we're just cleaning that up because those revenues that were included in the budget will now not be there. And so we had to adjust that budget. And then the CARES Act, as the mayor has mentioned many times since last fall, we received a little over $1 million from Tarrant County for CARES Act funding. And as expenditures are allocated related to COVID-19, they get reclassified and charged to the appropriate account. So from an audit standpoint, it's all properly accounted for in that one fund, and it was just some cleanup of some of those expenditures.
All right. Thank you for that. I will mention the street maintenance fund. We had that back as a WDC in the May election, and it passed. And that is that 1 July that we start recouping that $0.25 cent?
So I'm still actually waiting, Mayor. We had 2 items on the ballot in May. One was to reauthorize the Crime Control and Prevention District ½ cent, and that passed. And I have submitted that information to the Comptroller's office, and they have written me back and notified me that that is in place. And so no lapse there. So that will just continue on. But as far as the $0.25 cent that was authorized by the voters to add back, so now we'll be back to 8 1/4 total. That actually is waiting on the Comptroller to send us back notification. But my understanding is that we should see the impacts of that in September timeframe on our collection.
But effective date should be 1 July, isn't it?
That is, I believe that is correct, sir. I just haven't received the final notification from the Comptroller's office yet. So they should be getting that to us real soon, though.
Okay. All right. Then item 3, legislative amendments to update and revise Chapter 2 of the City of Watauga Code of Ordinances. That was something that drug out a little bit longer than maybe it should have. But for those that watched that online, as I made the comment 2 weeks ago, this is the only way that the government can work. If we have issues as a council and we need to discuss them, that is the only place that we can do that. So it does drag things out more. But this is just an update of the ordinances, which is a continuation, or should be a continuation all the time, and it'll be coming to the council.
Yeah, the heavy item on that particular ordinance update was related to our boards and commissions and committees and the rules and so forth surrounding those. So once we finish with the remaining articles, then we'll bring the whole entire ordinance back for council to approve.
Yep. And there were a lot of good improvements with as we cleaned this one up, standardizing all the boards. Before that, we were pretty much all over the board.
Yeah.
And so this has standardized it, and I think it's a good move. With that, we moved, there were no requests for items for future agenda, although we won't be lacking any items moving forward. The executive session we moved into, the first 3 items ended up doing nothing but giving direction to continue negotiations with the individual items. The fourth item, deliberated upon employment of the city attorney. Just took a little bit longer than the other 3 items. A lot of healthy discussion back there, and no action taken is the final result of that. But all in all, I thought it was an excellent meeting. We made a lot of positive steps and accomplishments. And with that, we came back out at 10:48 p.m. from our executive session, tired, but I think better off for the efforts, and then adjourned right after that. I do appreciate the council and staff that's required as we go into some of these meetings that run into wee hours of the morning. But like I said, I think we're better off for it in the end. Anything you'd like to add, Ms. Gardner?
I would just like to thank Bradley Fraley. As the mayor indicated, he's part of that staff that stays late when the meetings run late. So many thanks to Bradley. He had just returned. It was his first day back from vacation, so I'm sure he was pretty tired after the meeting that night. But I also wanted to remind the residents, Mayor, that we have budget workshops coming up next week. On Tuesday, we will be having workshop to discuss the tax rate and present the budget to the city council. The council will actually receive it per the charter on July 30th, which will be prior to Tuesday's meeting. But we'll do the public presentation to the council on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, the department heads will be presenting their individual department budgets to the city council. So those of you who are interested, we encourage you to attend those meetings. The agendas will be posted online in the normal location that they are. And I believe they are set to start at 5:30, but don't quote me on that.
I believe it is too.
But I think it is 5:30. But we look forward to seeing anybody that wants to come out and see in person how those workshops are conducted. And if you're not able to, Mayor, I'm guessing that we'll probably do a highlight video like this one, kind of talk
Yes,
about
ma'am.
it a little bit.
Yes, we can do that. And as Ms. Gardner said, I encourage everybody, please come to the meetings, be a part of it. Get out from behind those keyboards and come see us. Thank you.
Thank you.